peace, blessings, and a lot of love. I constantly talk about the concept of self-love. How very important it is to love yourself first. So I'm reading this book entitled Twin Flames, and it talks about the difference between soulmates and twin flame. Now, soulmates, what people don't realize, could be anybody. It could be a cousin, a sister, a brother, a mother, father, grandmother, grandparent, niece, uncle, cousin, best friend, your neighbor. Anyone can be a soulmate, because soulmates are connected spiritually. But a twin flame is connected spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and romantically. So there's a big difference between a soulmate and a twin flame. But I'm gonna go on and read some of the important things that I thought that was very important, and I'm going to I highlighted it so I can share it in this video. It takes two. People who haven't learned to love themselves will often end up in restrictive relationships. 1. Chasing after someone who has no interest in them. Being involved with someone who is already involved with someone else. Thus, a woman getting involved with a man who has a significant other, or a woman getting herself involved with a man who's married. Dating someone they met online, but have yet to meet them in person, hoping that they'll get back together with their ex who has already moved on. Restrictive relationships can be very appealing because it's easy to convince oneself that things would be perfect if it weren't for the small facts that their soulmate was married, or lived in another country, or had a different sexual preference, or some other justification for why they continue to invest in a relationship that cannot result in a true connection. That was deep. And I have always said, when you love yourself, you do not want to share anybody. And I'm speaking from a woman point of view. When you are a woman and you love yourself, you do not and will not want to invest your time in a relationship with someone who is married, has a significant other, chasing after him and he doesn't really want you. All those things. When you love yourself, you would never put yourself in those type of situations. You can love a partner who's attentive, attractive, and committed. But if you can't fully understand why they've chosen to be with you, then there will always be fear that you might get left behind for someone better. That's very interesting. And women really need to take the time and should know why this man chose to get involved with you. Just because a man desires you, is one thing I learned, does not mean he values you. And just because a man is taking you to bed does not mean you are in a relationship. So that is very, very important, because you want to know why the man chose you. The truth is that being with the wrong person can often feel lonelier than being alone. I personally would rather be single than be in any unhealthy relationship. If you learn to love yourself first, many of these toxic relationships can be avoided. But as often as people are encouraged to find a way to love themselves first, they will still attempt to find their partner first. And that's where you're going to always fail. When you love you, you're not going to accept toxic relationships. When you love you, you will not accept toxic relationships. Why would a person who possesses authentic joy and passion for life want to share their life with someone who is quick to feel jealousy, who is possessive because they believe their happiness and success is dependent on being in a relationship? Relationship should be, it's about learning how to grow from the experience. So when you have a failed relationship, That's why self-reflection is important. Because it should be about how to grow from this experience so it doesn't happen again. But you have some people out there that continuously get themselves involved in unhealthy relationships because they are refusing to be alone. If you love yourself, you won't feel the need to find someone now. You'll be open to the possibility, of course, but the rest of your life will keep you so excitedly busy, allowing the connection to happen organically. One of the best indicators of how much of your connection is the real deal can be determined by how fulfilled you were before going into that relationship. If you weren't happy before pairing up with your partner, there will be a nagging fear that if the relationship should end, you will once again be happy. See, I'm content and happy with self. I have learned to love myself and value myself. So, if I decide to have a relationship with someone, I'm already happy. That person is only going to add to my life. And if they're not adding to my life, then guess what? If they're taking from my life, guess what they gotta do? Go bye-bye. Because anyone who knows me, I am not too afraid to walk away from a healthy relationship because I have did so in the past. I have no problem walking away. My happiness is very important to me. Peace, blessings, and a whole lot of love. Miss Idea Giddy.